Hey folks, I'm Dave with the Small Batch Cigar Daily Batch, and today I have the distinct honor of talking to Mr. Small Batch, Andrew of Small Batch Cigar. We're going to be meeting in his office, asking the questions that you asked on the Daily Batch post earlier this week.
Generally, I select Cigar of the Month Club. With the help of the other guys here, we would particularly try to order something in advance. So at the trade show, we'll go around and figure out what to order heavy on in advance. Probably would be 2 to 3 months out, at least. Limited editions, it's kind of hard to guess when they're actually going to land. So we'll shoot for it, trade show, and then hopefully sometime in the next 6 months we'll get them, and then we'll use that into the cigar. Yes, we have floated the idea. We have not figured out how to execute the medium to allow customer feedback, and then also doing the distribution of the samples would be hard. We thought about doing it with the VIP customers and having kind of like a chat group. They could then review and then have kind of a responsibility to get back to us within a certain amount of time. But yes, we have thought about it. We just haven't figured out how to properly execute it. Generally, 2 people pack the orders, Paul and Brian. We have Michael here, who does a lot of the polling for the orders, and then we have Ben, who also does the polling, but Paul and Brian do the packing. Generally, it's been, we already had relationships with the brands when we started Small Batch, and we worked with those brands. With Warped or say Dapper, it was kind of just the right time, the right moment to meet them, and we liked their product, brought them in, and they've really helped push their brand along with us pushing it as well. So there's not really a formula how we pick somebody, but we do request when we bring somebody in to kind of have the Small Batch incubator process where we have them do interview, give us a lot of extra help on social media, but there's not really a formula. Currently, because we offer free shipping, it's very tricky to be able to sell singles. We've thought about floating a minimum if we were to do singles, but also realistically our space is so tiny. We're operating out of a small space. To do singles, it would create kind of an inventory nightmare in some ways, but something we are thinking about doing in the future. So it drastically varies, and then the volume would include Cigar of the Months, which kind of bump up the numbers, but realistically we're sending anywhere between 100 packages a day. They could be 5 packs, they could be a 3-pack, depending on the cost of the cigar, 2 boxes as well. But generally it's a lot, but a good chunk of that is Cigar of the Month. So originally we launched it with 100 members for the 50. We then expanded it to having 2 separate times for the 50, so the 1st and the 15th. And then we did the same thing for the 30. We have the 30 that's kind of a weekend, so the 7th to 8th, and then we have a 30 that's towards the end of the month. We do have a 20 that we kind of have unlimited amount of members we can offer, and that one runs all month long, depending on when they purchase it. Realistically, Bespoke has been kind of the one that we been most excited about. That's kind of grown with us. We brought them in really small, and within the first day, our order for them sold out. Castigli would be what they're called now. They're no longer called Bespoke. But I would call them a sleeper brand in the sense of they have a great offering across the board. Balad does a great job supporting the brand and reaching out to consumers. Not a lot of people know about them. We would like to put them more in the Cigar of the Month to kind of expand it, but at the same time we don't want to oversaturate because their production is so small. We can't really offer it every month or every couple months in the Cigar of the Month. I think that the singles would be something we'd really like to expand on, giving the ability to allow customers to try stuff, dabble with stuff. I think we've accomplished a lot with samplers, but the optimization of trying to find samplers is kind of hard sometimes on our website. So I think if we could better display our samplers in a way where they could search by, wrapper, binder, filler, or Nicaraguan versus Dominican, that's something that we're kind of behind on. We've looked at the numbers. We've tried that, and it just makes sense for us to stay put. Probably it varies on the day, but let's say 6. I think the best way to describe this would be the brands we've worked with and the partnerships with them. And the brands off the top of my head would be, working with Caldwell, originally launching his brands here at our shop was a really cool opportunity. Jeremy, who works with Caldwell, actually used to work here. He sold me my first lighter and cutter. And then after that, working with Kyle, being at Titan LeBron's and meeting Sandy, never even hearing about Warped. And then we're in town for the Padron 50th event, and we wanted to visit Sandy, and she passes me a La Camina number 36, says, "You got to try this." But she said, first, I got to call the guy and make sure it's okay if I give it to you. Right? So I got to talk to Kyle. Never met him. Smoked his cigar and just fell in love with the brand. Came back out a couple months later and actually got to meet him at Titan LeBron's. Working with Ian from Dapper was just a random occurrence at the trade show. We went to this booth. We were looking to kind of find a new brand to work with, and originally, actually, I was going to check out Cavalier, and the guy was busy, and Ian's booth was right next to it. So we sat down, and Alex Casa, who works with Ian really closely and is kind of his main brand guy, was like, "Hey, let's check this out." And Ian had already known about Small Batch, which was really cool, and he's been a huge partner, being one of the first VIP interviews we did, and just letting us kind of, his gratitude for what we've done for his brand has been really cool. And then finally meeting Balad, from Bespoke, Castagli. So I mean, working with Balad and him, trusting us to take on his brand as the first online store that had his brand in the U.S. really was a great partnership. Not only does he take care of the customers online and being really socially relevant to those customers, but he also loves talking with the customers here. And he takes the time to come out here and spend time with our customers and really build the brand. So that's the top 4 personalities that I would say that are fantastic. So yeah, we would love to expand swag. That's something we've been lagging on. It'd be something that'd be great to workshop with customers about what kind of swag they'd be interested in. We definitely need to get on that in the next year and coming up with some kind of cool giveaway swag. Yeah, it's really, if the customer reaches out to us, a lot of brands, or a handful of brands, ship things in bundles. We can't list them as boxes. So when it comes to how we list inventory, we try to go box heavy, light on packs, and then switch inventory. But our system, unfortunately, because the way the brands ship some of their product, they're not all in boxes. So we couldn't have a system where it automatically could recognize, hey, you're out of, packs, switch a box, or vice versa, right? You have enough packs, switch it back to a box, because of the limitations in the brands and them selling us bundles, which if a customer wants a box, we might not have it. We might have 25 packs, but 0 boxes. So the way that we did testing pretty extensively with first class shipments, and anything under a pound, we found that if it shipped first class, the delivery time was almost exact to shipping a priority. So you're not getting the insurance, the included insurance aspect, but you're getting similar speed by shipping it. If you're shipping a single 5-pack, if you ship it in a priority small flat rate versus a first class, it's almost the exact delivery time than it would have been, but it's also a fraction of the price. So it allows us to continue to offer free shipping. We try not to smoke things right off the truck, because if we were to give tasting notes on that, it wouldn't be accurate, right? So I may smoke cigars right off the truck just to see where they're at, but in no way is that cigar, if I took tasting notes from that cigar when it came off of the truck from 7 days shipping across the US, would it be accurate to what the cigar might be with some actual rest? So that's the big thing is, and we also don't want to mislead the customer. We might find something really light, but we're also smoking a ton of heavy cigars on a daily basis. What we like or don't like, another customer might pick up and really enjoy. So it's hard unless you have somebody that's kind of biased like yourself to do them for us, where we think that you hit a bigger spectrum in the sense of what the consumer might be looking for. Where for us, it's, again, we're smoking while we're working. We're not sitting down and trying to take notes. So I mean, we took the time to ship a box around the United States with a sensor push in it, and with that data we found that the drastic swings of temperature and heat and temperature, humidity, and heat were such a huge swing that by the time it gets to the consumer, it might only take 3 days or 2 days, but they really shouldn't smoke it right off the truck. It makes a huge difference if they can put it into a stable environment for at least a couple days. 2 weeks for a lot of people might seem extreme, but at least whatever's gone on in that week, whatever, right, depending on the season, should be resolved by that rest. The original design, or the redesign, some people might remember the OG small batch was pretty basic. I had a really good buddy that I met at a HERF, who became a really good buddy. His name's Eric, and he helped take the vision that we had been working on to eventually transfer platforms, and he pushed and helped to overhaul the whole thing over a 6 months to a year process, which we were already a year in. We were reworking the website. We scrapped the platform we're working on. Eric helped just knock it out of the park, and just did it because he loved what Small Batch was doing, which was amazing. He didn't want money for it. He didn't want cigars. He just really was behind what we were doing. And he helped take the design I had and then the ideas we had for the platform, and then just took it to heart and made the website. But from the picture standpoint, we all kind of take part of that. Building the items, we all kind of take part of that. But it's the overall original look was something that we kind of wanted to keep simple, and Eric did a great job executing it.
Origin story question.
Yeah.
How did this all come about?
So the night that we launched from Small Batch 1.0 to 2.0, there was a lead up with Eric, who at the time had luckily he took a year off, kind of like a sabbatical, and was traveling with his family around the U.S. But before he could do that, he wanted to get us live. That was his big thing. Is he'd invested the time and the energy, and we had spent tons of times working on it. But he really put in hours that were just insane. He'd be up till 2 or 3 in the morning working on stuff, coming in the next day, getting it ready, and then we had the final night where we had to transition the platform, and we were here probably till about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, finalizing, rebuilding items. We had to re-inventory everything. We brought over a lot of SKUs, but the old platform, the format didn't. We had to recreate everything from scratch. So I mean, every item had to be redone, and we all kind of as a team sat, bit by bit, brand by brand, would check the items, check the inventory, and then redo pictures, because our pictures used to be horrible, and then from there it was weeks before we actually got everything really online after that initial launch, because it was just so much that we had to retouch, recheck. So it was a team effort. It was a long night. It's a tricky question, which I think coming down the pipeline, it'll be more optimized the way that people can check out. Currently, it's pretty simple. You can check out with your credit card. We're moving towards more platforms like PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay. We want to make it easier for customers to check out. But the big thing for us when it comes to liability of shipping tobacco and verifying information, we have to have a customer sign up, check the box that says they're of age, and then along with that is the order process online allows us to provide a tracking information. We have a branded tracking page, so when a customer gets an email with their tracking information, they have a map. They see where the package is, and it can bounce around. Doing phone orders for us is just something we've never been able to do because of the restrictions in the industry in a lot of ways, where we're trying to keep both the customer safe and us safe when it comes to liability. But we also want them to experience the full gamut of experience of, they get the order information, they get the tracking page, they get the branded experience, they get an email when the package is delivered, a follow-up email with information about how they should store their cigars. That all happens if you order online. If you order over the phone, none of that happens. So we are more than happy to help customers check out online, but it really creates a completely different experience. No, I think our biggest success to date is our customer service. I mean, the way that customers, when we first started in 2012, when we looked at the industry and what it lacked was, I actually ordered from a bunch of different brands online before we started small batch just to see what the experience was, and it was horrible. It was, they didn't put bubble in the box. It took 7 days. There was no Bovita. And for the first couple years, I would say from 2002 to 2014, I would get an email almost every week. And back then, the customer base was really small. We didn't really have an ability to advertise. We were, a tiny company, and success-wise, seeing those emails every week, which we still get them, is customers saying the experience is just so amazing. How you guys pack, you ship, the speed. I would say that's our big success. Is we wanted to provide an experience, and we continually executed on that as we grow. Right, so we didn't cut corners as things got busier. I think we stepped up in the sense of we've offered more things, we've offered a better experience. I have the Cigar Noise goblet. I have some fine water that we have delivered here.
The pure water from Mr. Alan Pierce,
Yeah.
owner of such a fine company that keeps us fueled at all times. 9.5. You sell out.
pH. We have Senior Davidoff guy, Paul Patel's box of Wonders. We have a rocket thing that we throw occasionally.
Cathartic.
Just to get some energy out.
Fresh rocket.
We have a bottle of wine that Paul so generously provided. We have a clock that was made by the guy that made our stands. So there are our cigar stands with our logo on them. The gentleman decided to make us a clock randomly. This is the mallet that we use to build the racks
Call it the expansion hammer.
that we store the inventory on. This is our first Hall of Fame award, or the faux Hall of Fame award. We have Michael's helmet, which also holds his bottle of Stag.
Junior.
And then I have my less exotic rocket.
That one actually flies way better.
Really?
Yes.
That's what we're going to say.
Mhm.
On live.
So
Alright.
that's about what we got behind us.
Shut up and sit down.